In a world dominated by rankings and an insatiable pursuit of being at the top, Hiroto finds himself standing before the school on the Academy Island, taking on the role of the new Academy's representative. As one of the privileged few with the esteemed 7-star status, he exudes an air of arrogance, boldly declaring his superiority over all others. With unwavering confidence, he challenges his fellow students, daring them to prove their worth by facing him directly. However, as he concludes his speech, a surge of panic overwhelms Hiroto backstage, realizing that it was all a facade. Checking his social media, he is bombarded with a flurry of messages branding him as a loser. Several hours earlier, Hiroto finds himself disoriented and in search of his academy. Noticing a captivating girl passing by, he calls out to her for assistance. He confesses that he is a newly arrived transfer student, having just arrived the day before and currently feeling lost. Sympathetic to his predicament, Sarasa kindly points out the academy's location on the map. Sensing his unfamiliarity as he skipped the tutorial, she explains that by using his device, he can access the names and relevant information of individuals, but only if they hold a lower rank than him. Player ranks are determined by the accumulation of stars earned through competitive matches. Among all the ranks, the highly coveted status of 7 stars stands as the pinnacle of prestige on the island. The device also includes its own social media app called Stock, which students utilize for communication. Sarasa also introduces him to the Game Request app for playing competitive matches. Since Hiroto is a newcomer, Sarasa kindly offers to guide him to his academy for the orientation. Suddenly, a realization dawns upon Sarasa: her own orientation is about to commence. Just as she bids Hiroto farewell, an adjacent sprinkler malfunctions, unexpectedly showering Sarasa with a cascade of water. Sarasa's emotions stir, suspicion creeping into her mind. She ponders whether Hiroto had intentionally orchestrated the sprinkler incident. Despite his attempts to deny any ill intent, Sarasa finds the unfolding events too peculiar to dismiss. She firmly asserts that Hiroto couldn't possibly be oblivious to everything, accusing him of leading her on all this time. Although he tries to explain himself, Sarasa cuts him off, firmly convinced that he orchestrated the situation to embarrass her. Sarasa insists that he arranges a game between them, emphasizing that the request must originate from a lower-ranked player. Complying with her demand, Hiroto sends her a game request but overlooks the necessity of specifying the details, unaware that the lower-ranked player should choose the game for fairness. Sarasa interprets this oversight as an insult, perceiving Hiroto's actions as a mockery, implying that he can triumph over her regardless of the game she selects. However, the truth is far from her assumption. Hiroto simply has no idea what he's doing. Sarasa initiates a game, a turn-based staring contest on hard mode. The objective of the game is to avoid displaying any reaction, as the one who does so will be the loser. Taking turns, they are allowed to display any facial expression in an attempt to elicit a reaction from each other. Hiroto eagerly anticipates the start of the game, while Sarasa expresses surprise that he hasn't chosen an ability yet. Sarasa emphasizes the significance of abilities in influencing the game's outcome, leading her to question whether Hiroto is taking her seriously. Granting Hiroto 1 minute to elicit a reaction from her, Sarasa quickly uses one of her abilities to reduce his time to a mere 10 seconds. This unexpected twist catches Hiroto off guard, and his turn concludes before he can even blink. Now it's Sarasa's turn, and she utilizes another ability by summoning a sword and brandishing it to provoke any reaction from Hiroto. Amidst the game, Sarasa finds relief as her damp clothes gradually dry, sparing her from attending the orientation in a soaked state. However, fate has other plans as the sprinkler malfunctions once again, drenching Sarasa in water. Simultaneously, Hiroto's turn restarts, and Sarasa reveals that she was supposed to give a speech as the Academy representative. She ponders the idea of delivering the speech while being wet and enduring the stares of the onlookers, which embarrasses her and causes her to lose the game. As a result, the ownership of stars is transferred from Sarasa to Hiroto, leaving bystanders astonished that the Empress has been defeated. At that moment, a butler approaches Hiroto, informing him that the headmistress wishes to see him. The headmistress, Natsume, acknowledges that Hiroto has caused quite a commotion with his victory over Sarasa. It turns out that the game they played was not an ordinary one. Sarasa happens to be the sole 7-star on the island, achieving the highest entrance exam score and remaining undefeated since enrolling. Furthermore, her grandfather, Masamune, is the founder of Academy Island and currently serves as the head director, making Sarasa a highly esteemed VIP. Hiroto, an insignificant individual in comparison, defeated someone of Sarasa's caliber, a commoner and barely accepted into the academy. Natsume explains that Masamune will do anything to protect his family's reputation. To salvage the situation, she proposes making Hiroto a 7-star. If Masamune were to learn that Sarasa was defeated by someone on her level, it wouldn't upset him as much. Natsume instructs Hiroto to check his device, where he discovers the star he took from Sarasa is red. Only 10 or 15 special stars like this have been confirmed on the island. This unique red star possesses a special effect, allowing Hiroto to tell one lie about anything. Thus, Natsume devises a plan for Hiroto to fabricate a lie about being a fake 7-star on his first day. She asks him about his reason for coming to the island, and Hiroto discloses that his goal is to find someone, compelling him to accept Natsume's plan and become the strongest player. Immediately after Hiroto's speech, Natsume commends him for executing a psychological scam, effectively separating his inner emotions from his outward expression. Natsume provides him with coordinates to his new dormitory and sends him on his way. On his journey, Sarasa pulls him into an alley, driven by her belief that he intends to expose her secret after basking in the limelight of his recent speech. Desperately pleading for mercy, Sarasa implores Hiroto to spare her, promising to fulfill any request he may have if he refrains from exposing her secret. Unbeknownst to Sarasa, Hiroto remains completely oblivious to the situation at hand. Sarasa is convinced that he knows she is not the real Sarasa, as she has assumed Sarasa's identity and acted as her double at the academy for the past year, revealing her true name as Rina. In a peculiar turn of events, the red star he obtained from her grants the ability to tell one lie, with the next recipient of the star discovering that lie. However, Hiroto confesses that he had no knowledge of her being a double and that he only arrived on the island yesterday, still struggling to use the device properly. He reveals that his true rank is 1, and he is utilizing the red star to claim a false 7-star status. This revelation leaves Sarasa dumbfounded. Hiroto explains that he is not the strongest on the island and that he accidentally won the game, completely unaware of her secret. In essence, she orchestrated this situation herself. A sudden realization dawns upon Hiroto that since Sarasa is a double, she is not truly Masamune's granddaughter, rendering his pursuit of becoming a 7-star unnecessary. Finally arriving at his dorm, which resembles more of a mansion, Hiroto is greeted by a beautiful maid who addresses him as master. Startled by Hiroto's sudden presence, the maid quickly composes herself and introduces herself as Shirayuki. She discloses that she attends the same academy as Sarasa in District 3 and, following Natsume's instructions, will serve as Hiroto's live-in assistant from that day forward. Although Hiroto hadn't anticipated living with a girl, they both acknowledge that the true culprit behind their current circumstances is none other than Headmaster Natsume. Recognizing their shared predicament, Hiroto advises Shirayuki not to put him on a pedestal and encourages her to act more naturally around him, to which she readily agrees. To Hiroto's amazement, Shirayuki prepares a delightful dinner, leaving him in awe of the generous portions and delicious taste. His genuine surprise causes Shirayuki to blush, adding a touch of charm to the moment. Later, Shirayuki explains that the mansion is protected from unauthorized access when it is offline. Since Hiroto used the red star to falsely claim a 7-star status, he is essentially engaging in a scam. If word gets out, his life would be ruined. On the Academy Island, apart from District 0, each district houses a single academy, totaling 20 academies in all. These academies undergo ranking evaluations every year, with each rank offering various benefits. The rankings are heavily influenced by the students, particularly those with stars, as their contributions carry significant weight. Students possessing 5 or more stars are considered advanced students, and an academy boasting a student with a 7-star status is almost guaranteed to secure a top position in the rankings. However, Hiroto faces a daunting challenge ahead. Realistically, he holds a mere 1-star rank, reflecting his limited abilities. Engaging in battles against other players will feel like fighting a boss as a level 1 player. This is where Shirayuki steps in, along with her team, committed to providing Hiroto unwavering support for the next 2 years. Their assistance extends beyond winning games. It encompasses various aspects of his daily life as well. Shirayuki proceeds to explain a valuable strategy to Hiroto. By checking his game icon, he can view all the game requests he has received. She advises him to accept a game request scheduled for the following morning, boldly silencing those who doubt his abilities. This particular game will serve as a tutorial, showcasing the effectiveness of their assistance. However, the plan involves winning through cheating. Shirayuki hands Hiroto an earpiece, through which one of her team members informs him that they will hack into the opponent's device, granting them control to manipulate the game in their favor. Undoubtedly, such actions go against the rules, but Hiroto is willing to do whatever it takes to achieve his ultimate goal and deceive everyone around him. The following morning, Hiroto effortlessly overwhelms his opponent in the game. Finding solace in an alley, he breathes a sigh of relief, pleasantly surprised at how easily he emerged victorious. Grateful for the exceptional support provided by his team, he expresses his gratitude before swiftly making his way to campus. On his way to class, he encounters his class president, Fuka, and classmate, Yuuki. Hiroto's enrollment has garnered significant attention, with the class even organizing a tournament to determine who would have the privilege of showing him around. As Fuka and Yuuki delve into the competitive nature of their academy, Shirayuki calls, informing Hiroto about a highly favorable game request. The game is a main event hosted by the Libra Group, known for managing the news app LNN, the streaming app iTube, and organizing large game events. Hiroto's opponent for this particular contest is Haru, holding a respectable 3-star rank. Adding to the excitement, Sarasa serves as today's special guest, providing insightful commentary throughout the game. Haru selects the game of Anything Goes 100 meters race, where no rules are imposed from start to finish. Urasaka exudes confidence in her imminent victory. However, Hiroto mirrors her conviction, boldly proclaiming that he won't suffer defeat in any game presented to him. Hirosaka reveals her astonishingly equipped bike with a turbo boost, attempting to intimidate Hiroto. Despite the flashy display, Hiroto remains unfazed, determined to beat her on foot. Before the race begins, Haru notes that Hiroto's planned tactics won't work, as her ability to nullify interference is active. However, Hiroto displays eagerness to begin, seemingly mocking Haru's warning. As the race commences, it initially appears to conclude in the blink of an eye. Yet, with just a single step from Hiroto, Haru is unexpectedly sent hurtling through the air, eventually landing safely on a cushioned surface. In an arrogant manner, Hiroto proclaims that the victory was far too easy. Shirayuki's pre-match strategy involved equipping Hiroto with complete disable level 1 in all 3 slots, effectively neutralizing Haru's defensive ability. The remainder of the plan relied on the skillful efforts of their team of hackers. Publicly, Hiroto boldly announces that he utilized complete disable level 7 followed by force stop. In addition, Hiroto takes precautions to ensure Haru's well-being, implementing a safety device that prevents any harm during the game. This allows Hiroto to emerge victorious effortlessly, literally gliding through the game. After the game concludes, Rina rushes over to Hiroto, displaying a mix of sadness for not witnessing his humiliation and relief that he didn't suffer defeat. She asserts that the only person allowed to defeat Hiroto is herself. However, this proclamation serves as a mere facade for Rina to discreetly pass him a note, urgently requesting a meeting. Prior to their encounter, Hiroto asks Shirayuki to temporarily halt monitoring him and promptly meets Rina at a secluded cafe. Intrigued, Hiroto inquires about Rina's secret. She reveals that the real Sarasa was kidnapped over a year ago, and the perpetrator made no demands. As a close friend of Sarasa's, Rina was entrusted with assuming her identity to gather information about the kidnapper's next move. She explains that children from the Seonji family rarely venture outside until high school, with friends and teachers specially assigned to them. As a result, very few individuals are familiar with the real Sarasa's appearance. Rina seamlessly took on Sarasa's role, aided by the lack of familiarity with the true Sarasa's face. Uncertain about the real Sarasa's eventual return, Rina is determined to protect Sarasa's reputation in the meantime. She emphasizes that if Hiroto were to lose his Red Star, all the lies told by previous Red Star holders would be exposed, underscoring the importance of his continued success. Hiroto elaborates on the significance of safeguarding both of their secrets, revealing his quest to locate his childhood friend, who he believes is somewhere on the island. In order to accomplish this and avoid expulsion from the island, he must maintain the facade of being the strongest player. Recognizing the alignment of their goals, Hiroto and Rina form an alliance, promising to stay in communication and exchange their IDs for future contact. The next day, as they arrive on campus, they assume the roles of enemies in the eyes of those around them. However, their act is interrupted when a chilling laughter captures their attention, causing them to shift their focus towards its source. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more anime videos.